The Amazfit Active 2 has been one of the best budget smartwatches you can buy, but Amazfit's newest running-focused watch, the Active 3 Premium, is here to replace it. Does it earn the $40 to $70 price jump? Here's what's changed and which of these is actually right for you. Let's start with what you're actually buying, because there isn't just one Active 2. There are two versions plus a third shape worth knowing about. The base Active 2 is $99.99 with a tempered glass screen and silicone strap. The Active 2 Premium Edition is $129.99. Same case but with sapphire glass and a leather strap. Both share the exact same 43.9 by 9.9 millimeter case. Only the weight differs slightly at 29.5 grams for the base model and 31.65 grams for the Premium. There's also an Active 2 Square model. It matches the Premium tier closely in features, just with a different screen shape and size, along with some other subtle differences. We're covering the round base and Premium models here and not the Square, since the Active 3 Premium doesn't currently offer a Square option. But most of what we say about the Active 2 Premium tier applies to the Square too. Now onto the Active 3 Premium. It's $169.99 and it's a genuinely bigger watch. It's 45mm across and 11mm thick versus 43.9 by 9.9 on the Active 2. It's heavier too at 38 grams versus 29.5 to 31.65 grams depending on which Active 2 you pick. Sapphire glass comes as standard on every Active 3 Premium color, so you're not choosing a tier the way you are with Active 2. So on size, this is straightforward. The Active 2 Base and Premium are smaller and lighter. The Active 3 Premium asks for more wrist space. If breakdowns like this help you figure out which watch is worth buying, hit subscribe. We're doing these every week. Next, let's focus on what you're actually looking at all day. Both watches use the same size and resolution screen, a 1.32-inch AMOLED display. As mentioned, sapphire glass comes standard on the Active 2 Premium and the Active 3 Premium, with the base Active 2 using regular tempered glass instead. Brightness is where a real gap shows up. Amazfit officially rates the Active 3 Premium at up to 3000 nits and the Active 2 at up to 2000 nits. So the Active 3 Premium is meaningfully brighter outdoors, roughly 50% more. So on display, the Active 3 Premium takes this one. Same size and resolution, but noticeably brighter outdoors. Now, how long does either watch actually last between charges? The Active 3 Premium's battery is bigger in every measurement Amazfit provides, working out to 12 days of typical use versus 10. It's also worth knowing that GPS isn't running constantly in everyday use. It only switches on when you start a workout that tracks location, like a run or a hike. The continuous GPS figures are 24 hours on the Active 3 Premium and 21 on the Active 2. These reflect how long the battery lasts if you kept GPS running non-stop in one long session, like an ultramarathon and not normal daily wear. The Active 3 Premium also adds a dedicated GPS power saving mode, rated for up to 76 hours of extended low power tracking, though this comes at the cost of tracking accuracy and features like heart rate monitoring switching off. The Active 2 doesn't offer an equivalent. Its own battery saver mode actually turns GPS off completely rather than running it at reduced power. So on battery, the Active 3 Premium wins outright. Bigger capacity, longer battery life, and a power-saving GPS mode the Active 2 doesn't have. Beyond the screen and battery, here's what these watches actually track. Both watches track heart rate, sleep, and stress and support well over 160 sport modes each, covering things like pace, heart rate zones, and cadence during workouts, plus the exact same combat sports lineup on both. The Active 3 Premium runs Amazfit's Hybrid Charge Score, a daily energy and readiness number built from three parts: your biometric data, which is the same calculation used in BioCharge, pulled from your sleep, heart rate variability, and resting heart rate; life load, where you log things like stress, illness, or travel; and training load, based on how hard your workouts actually felt. The Active 2 only runs the BioCharge component, which is the biometric side alone, without these newer additions. Both watches track ground contact time and vertical oscillation. Ground contact time measures how long your foot stays on the ground with each step, and vertical oscillation measures how much your body bounces up and down as you run. Both are useful for spotting inefficiencies in your form. Beyond hybrid charge, there's also a genuine split on lactate threshold and running power. Both are running-specific tools. They don't apply to cycling or other workouts, and both stay exclusive to the Active 3 Premium and Amazfit's higher-end Cheetah series. The Active 2 doesn't calculate either natively. The Active 3 Premium also adds gear management. You can log specific running shoes, track mileage per pair, and get a reminder to rotate or replace them before wear becomes an injury risk. So on running and fitness features, this is a clear win for the Active 3 Premium. Everywhere the two actually differ, it comes out ahead. Next, let's cover connectivity, Bluetooth and contactless payments before we get to the numbers. Both run Bluetooth Low Energy 5.2 on the Active 2 and 5.3 on the Active 3 Premium. That newer version brings some subtle efficiency improvements under the hood, but it's not something most people would notice day to day. On contactless payments, the base Active 2 doesn't come with NFC at all in any region. That's a tier limitation and not a regional one. The premium tier of both watches does include NFC outside the US, but the US versions ship without the chip entirely, so contactless payments aren't available there. And unlike a software restriction, that's not something a future update could fix. So on connectivity, there's barely any gap between the Active 2 Premium and the Active 3 Premium. Both get NFC outside the US, and the Bluetooth difference won't be noticeable day to day. The base Active 2 is the one that actually misses out with no NFC in any region. So to recap on price, the Active 2 is $99.99 in the US and £99.90 in the UK. The Active 2 Premium is $129.99 in the US, £129.90 in the UK. And the Active 3 Premium is $169.99 in the US and £169.90 in the UK. These reflect prices at the time of recording, so it's worth checking current pricing before you buy. You may also find these for less on Amazon. Pricing there shifts and can vary by color, so it's worth comparing before you buy. Now that pricing's on the table, here's which of these three is actually right for you. Are you training seriously for a race and want real running specific data? The Active 3 Premium is the only one of the three that gives you that. Do you want contactless payments from your smartwatch? That's the Active 2 Premium or the Active 3 Premium, just not in the US where none of these three support it. Do you want the cheapest capable smartwatch? The base Active 2 covers you for under $100. You'll just miss out on lactate threshold, running power, NFC, and the full hybrid charge score. Or do you want everything the base Active 2 offers plus sapphire gloss without paying Active 3 Premium prices? The Active 2 Premium Edition is your middle ground. It also adds NFC, though that only works outside the US. So after going through all of that, here's how I'd actually call it. The Active 3 Premium is a genuine step forward for anyone serious about running, with a bigger, brighter display, a bigger battery, and real training metrics to back it up. If you don't need lactate threshold or running power data, the Active 2, especially the Premium Edition, still gets you sapphire gloss for $40 less, with barely any everyday difference. This isn't a case of the older watch being outclassed, it's a case of knowing whether you actually need what the extra money buys. And if contactless payments matter to you, none of these work for that in the US right now. Links for all three are down in the description. If this helped you decide, hit subscribe. We're doing these comparisons every week. Thanks for watching Tech Authority.